Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Hana Sasaki, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you've started noticing those little changes that sneak up on all of us. Maybe getting out of your favorite armchair now takes a second longer. Perhaps reaching for that top shelf in the kitchen makes your shoulder complain. Or maybe you felt that tiny moment of uncertainty when you step off a curb or turn around too quickly in the grocery store. Let me speak directly to your heart for a moment. You are not broken. You are not just getting old. And most importantly, this does not have to be your new normal. I see patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s every single week who feel that quiet fear in their chest, the worry that their independence is slowly slipping away. But after 20 years of practicing medicine, I've learned something beautiful and hopeful. Our bodies are not machines that simply rust out with time. They are living, responsive systems that adapt to whatever signals we send them every single day. When we choose stillness, our bodies get the message, and they get very good at being still, which unfortunately means they become fragile. But when we send the signal of purposeful, intelligent movement, even gentle movement, our bodies respond with strength, balance, and resilience. That's not wishful thinking. That's biology. And today, I want to give you the exact tools that make that resilience possible. We're going to talk about 5 foundational movements that require no gym, no fancy equipment, and no hours of your day. These are movements that respect the wisdom of a body that has already lived decades on this earth. They are low impact, joint friendly, and incredibly effective when done consistently. Because here's what I want for you. I don't want you to train like you're 25 again. That's a recipe for soreness and frustration. I want you to move in a way that lets you keep doing the things that make your life worth living. Whether that's gardening until the sun goes down, chasing grandchildren around the yard, dancing at your granddaughter's wedding, or simply walking through the park without worrying about falling. I remember the first time Martha walked into my office. She was 72 years young, with the brightest blue eyes and the saddest smile I'd seen in weeks. She told me she had stopped attending her beloved garden club, the one she'd been part of for 37 years. Not because she didn't love the roses anymore, but because she was terrified of kneeling down to tend them. She was afraid she wouldn't be able to get back up without someone's help. The fear in her voice wasn't just about gardening. It was about losing her dignity, her independence, her sense of who she was in the world. We didn't start with dramatic workouts or heavy weights. We began with the basics, teaching her body how to move through space with confidence again. 6 months later, Martha didn't just return to garden club. She was carrying her own watering cans, kneeling in the dirt, and standing back up with a smile that could light up the entire neighborhood. That transformation from fear to freedom is why I get up in the morning, and it's exactly what's possible for you too. Before we dive into these 5 movements, I need to say something important as your doctor. If you're experiencing pain right now, or if you have specific medical conditions, please check with your own physician before starting anything new. These movements are designed for healthy aging, but they are not a replacement for personalized medical care. Think of them as the daily maintenance that keeps your beautiful home from needing major repairs down the road. Always listen to your body. It's smarter than any of us. All right, let's begin with the foundation of everything, your core. And when I say core, I'm not talking about getting 6-pack abs. I'm talking about the deep cylinder of muscles that wraps around your spine like a natural corset. This is the center of your power, your balance, and your ability to move safely through life. When your core is weak, your lower back ends up doing all the heavy lifting, which is why so many of us accept those nagging aches as just part of getting older. But it doesn't have to be that way. The first movement I want to teach you is a modified plank that meets you exactly where you are. Yes, I said plank, but don't click away. We're going to do this in the most joint-friendly way possible. Walk over to your kitchen counter right now if you'd like. Place your forearms on the edge. Step your feet back until your body forms a straight line from head to heels. If that feels too challenging, simply stand closer to the counter. The magic isn't in how long you hold it. It's in the quality of the connection. Draw your belly button gently toward your spine. Keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears and breathe deeply. Feel your entire trunk working as one stable unit. This is teaching your brain and body to lock everything into place so that when you reach for a heavy bag of groceries or bend to pick up your grandchild, your spine stays protected instead of taking all the stress. Start with just 10 to 15 seconds. I know that sounds tiny, but consistency beats intensity every single time. Do this a few times throughout your week, and within a month, you'll notice your posture improving, your back feeling stronger, and those random aches starting to fade. Your body is listening. What signal are you sending it today? Now let's talk about how we bend, because this is where so many of us get into trouble. Most back problems in our later years don't come from big, dramatic injuries. They come from years of bending incorrectly, rounding our lower backs instead of using our powerful hips. You've probably seen it, or maybe even caught yourself doing it. Leaning over to pick up shoes or a dropped napkin with a rounded spine, putting enormous pressure on those delicate spinal discs. This is why the second movement, the chair-assisted hip hinge, might be the most important thing I teach you today. Stand in front of a sturdy chair, feet about hip-width apart. Now reach your hips backward like you're trying to close a car door with your backside. Keep your chest lifted, your spine long and neutral, and let your knees have a soft, gentle bend. You should feel a stretch in the back of your legs and a sense of power in your glutes. This movement pattern is pure gold for protecting your back for the rest of your life. It's the fundamental way you should be picking up everything from grandbabies to laundry baskets to gardening tools. Practice it until it becomes automatic. Every time you do it correctly, you're sending your body the message that you're strong, capable, and safe. I'd love to hear from you right now. What's one physical activity that you deeply want to keep doing for the next 20 years? Is it dancing in your kitchen to old songs? Playing on the floor with your grandkids? Traveling and exploring new cities without fear? Tell me in the comments. When I read your dreams, it helps me create better content for this community that I care about so much. Let's move to the upper body, because strong arms and shoulders are about so much more than appearance. They're about being able to push yourself up if you fall, open heavy doors with confidence, carry groceries, and embrace the people you love. Many of us avoid traditional push-ups because our wrists hurt or our shoulders feel delicate, and I completely understand that. That's why the wall push-up is one of my favorite movements. Stand about an arm's length from a wall. Place your hands at shoulder height and width. Slowly bend your elbows to lower your chest toward the wall with control, then press back to the starting position. Keep your core engaged, just like we practiced in our first movement. This creates a beautiful chain of stability, from your feet all the way through your trunk to your hands. If it feels too easy, step your feet farther back. If it feels challenging, move closer to the wall. You are completely in control of the difficulty, and that's what makes this so empowering. Every repetition is building the exact strength you need to feel capable in your daily life. I want you to imagine yourself 10 years from now, moving with confidence because you took the time to build this foundation today. The fourth movement is something I consider absolutely essential for fall prevention, and that's the single leg stance. We live in a two-legged world, but we actually navigate it one leg at a time. Every single step you take involves a moment of balancing on one foot. If we don't practice this skill, our nervous system literally starts to lose the map for how to stabilize our hips, knees, and ankles. Here's how we do it safely and effectively. Stand near your kitchen counter or a sturdy chair. Lift one foot just an inch or two off the ground. Stand tall, keep your hips level, and resist the urge to lean to one side. You don't need to hold it for a long time. Even 5 to 10 seconds per side is meaningful, especially when you do it regularly. The research on this is incredibly clear. Regular balance practice is one of the most effective ways to dramatically reduce your risk of serious falls. And falls are no small thing. They can rob us of our confidence and independence in an instant. But here's the beautiful part. Your balance can improve at any age. Your nervous system is remarkably adaptable. Start with a finger or two lightly touching the counter for support. That's not cheating. That's smart training. As you get stronger, you'll need less and less support. I often do this while I'm waiting for my tea water to boil or while brushing my teeth. Turn those little moments of dead time into powerful training time. Your future self will thank you. And now we come to what I believe is the single most important functional movement for maintaining independence, the sit to stand. This is literally the movement of life. Getting out of bed in the morning, rising from your dining chair, getting in and out of your car. If you can do this movement well, you preserve an enormous amount of freedom. Find a chair that feels comfortable for you. If you need to use the armrests at first, that's perfectly fine. But over time, try to rely on them less and less. Sit toward the front of the chair, feet flat on the floor about hip-width apart. Lean slightly forward, then drive through your heels to stand up with strength and control. Even more important is the way you sit back down. Lower yourself slowly, resisting gravity the whole way. That controlled lowering, what we call the eccentric phase, is where so much of the magic happens for building strength in your quadriceps and glutes. Do this 10 times with perfect form, and you've just completed one of the most effective strength training exercises available to human beings. This movement keeps your knees happy, your hips mobile, and your confidence high. Let me pause here and bring it all together for you. These 5 movements work as a complete system. The modified plank teaches core stability. The hip hinge protects your back. The wall push-up builds upper body confidence. The single leg stance sharpens your balance, and the sit to stand maintains your lower body power. Together, they create a foundation that touches every aspect of daily life. There's something I need to address because I hear it from patients all the time. Many people believe that walking is enough. And don't get me wrong, I love walking. It's incredible for your heart, your mind, your circulation, and your spirit. But walking alone doesn't provide the specific resistance and control challenges that prevent sarcopenia, that gradual loss of muscle mass that naturally accelerates after age 60. We have to send our bodies the clear signal that we still need that muscle tissue. These 5 movements, done with intention and good form, provide exactly that signal. They tell your body, I'm still here, I'm still active. Keep these muscles strong for me. Some days you'll feel energetic and you might do all 5 movements twice through. Other days you might feel tired, and that's when doing just a few repetitions of each becomes even more valuable. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is consistency. 10 thoughtful minutes, 2 or 3 times a week, will do more for your future mobility than sporadic, intense efforts that leave you sore and discouraged. Let me share another story that still moves me. I met Robert when he was 78. He had what we call a forward head posture, that stoop position where the head juts forward and the shoulders round. He told me he felt like he was constantly falling forward, like gravity was winning. His confidence was shattered. He avoided walks because he was afraid of tripping. We worked on gentle thoracic mobility, shoulder blade retraction, wall slides, and simple chin tucks. We taught his body how to find a taller, more aligned position. It wasn't dramatic at first, but 3 months later, he came back beaming. For the first time in years, he said he could walk and actually look at the horizon instead of staring at his feet. He felt present. He felt tall. He felt like himself again. That postural shift didn't just make him look different. It changed his center of gravity, improved his balance, and reduced his fear of falling. Posture isn't about vanity. It's about power, presence, and safety. When you begin these movements, you might feel some muscle soreness. That's normal and actually a good sign. It means your body is responding to the new demands you're placing on it. But there's a big difference between that satisfying "I worked my muscles" feeling and sharp, pinching pain in a joint. If you feel anything sharp, stop immediately. Make the movement smaller. Use more support. Reduce the range of motion. Your body is talking to you, and it's your job to listen. You've lived in this body for decades. You know its language better than anyone. I've spent years studying the research on aging, particularly the work coming out of the National Institute on Aging. For a long time, we thought joint pain was mainly about cartilage simply wearing out. But the modern understanding is much more hopeful. A huge percentage of the discomfort we experience comes from weak or imbalanced muscles around those joints. When you strengthen the muscles surrounding your knees, for example, they take pressure off the joint itself. This is why people with osteoarthritis often experience remarkable improvement when they follow a safe, progressive, strengthening program. It almost seems counterintuitive. We used to think, rest the joint. Now we understand that intelligent movement is like lotion for those joints. Motion creates circulation. Circulation brings nutrients. Strength creates stability. Stability creates confidence. You might be wondering when you should do these movements. My answer might surprise you. I want you to make them so easy and so integrated into your existing routines that you barely have to think about them. Do your single leg balance while your coffee is brewing. Practice your wall push-ups against the kitchen counter while waiting for the toaster. Do a few sit-to-stands every time you get up to use the bathroom. When these movements become part of the rhythm of your day, they stop being exercise and start being simply how you live. If you wait until you feel motivated or until you have a perfect 30-minute block, you'll probably never do them. But if they become as automatic as making your morning tea, they become part of who you are, a woman or man who chooses to age with intention and power. I want to speak to your spirit for a moment. It takes real courage to look at the aging process and decide you're going to meet it with strength instead of resignation. Most people don't do that. They accept decline as inevitable. But not you. You're here. You're learning. You're choosing to be the architect of your own physical future. That choice is powerful beyond measure. These golden years can truly be golden if we approach them with wisdom, patience, and consistent action. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be persistent. Your body will meet you halfway. Actually, it will meet you more than halfway. It's been waiting for these signals. Before we finish, I want to ask you for two small favors. First, if this video gave you hope or practical tools you can use immediately, please share it with someone you love. Maybe a sibling, a friend from church, or a neighbor who seems to be losing confidence in their body. You never know whose life you might transform by sending them this information. Second, if you want to go deeper into how to maintain muscle mass after 60, I have a video coming up that breaks down the critical role of protein in preserving strength and independence. It's a piece of the puzzle that too many people miss, and I think you're going to find it incredibly helpful. Remember this. Aging is not about losing your ability to live fully. It's about learning how to live with greater intention, wisdom, and care. You are capable of so much more than our culture tells us at this stage of life. Your best chapters can still be ahead of you. Start small, stay consistent, keep moving with love for this body that has carried you through so many seasons of life. You've got this. I believe in you completely. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I feel honored to be part of your journey. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I read every single one. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay curious, and above all, stay kind to yourself. This is Dr. Hana Sasaki wishing you vibrant health and joyful movement. Take good care.